Hey, what's up? So I'm doing a pickup video here on some new Sega stuff that I picked up to go along with my new Sega system. Um, I was at a little pawn shop type place today. Guy had in case a Genesis 2 with about 5 games that he wanted $30 for. Maybe 6, 7 games, something like that. He wanted $30 for the lot. Um, the games, from what I could see, were all pretty lousy, except for this Alien Storm and this Mortal Kombat. There was a Sonic, and then I think about 4 sports games. So I wasn't too interested in that, but I asked him about it, and I said, would you sell these games individually? And he said yes, and then he said, I also have a box of Sega stuff. There's no games, but there's a system and a bunch of controllers. I'm not sure what they are. And I thought maybe he would have a 6-button controller. So I told him I would check it out. So I looked in the box. He had an original Genesis system. This power base converter. He had 2 Master System regular controllers like this, and 2 Master System joysticks, and about 5 regular 3-button Genesis controllers. He was asking $45 for the lot, and I figured that was a pretty good deal. But since I had just bought a system and didn't really want to buy a whole nother system, I was kind of, I don't know. I said, I'm really just looking for, I would buy this piece off you, meaning the power base converter. And he didn't want to do it. He was basically just saying, I don't know what that is. I don't know how much any of this stuff is worth. So I kind of told him what it was. I said, look, this is to play the original Genesis or the original Sega games on your Genesis. I said, it was kind of a novelty thing at the time, blah, 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 blah. I sort of downplayed it a little bit, knowing that it's fairly valuable. And he finally agreed to just sell that by itself. So I said, okay, how about how about this? How about one controller? Since I wasn't sure if I needed any of the Master System controllers to play Master System games. And these 2 games. The Alien Storm is the box and the cart. Doesn't have the manual, unfortunately, but oh well. And Mortal Kombat, the original, just the cart by itself. So I got all this for $25. 25 seems to be the magic number for me right now. Everything I'm getting is like in lots of 25. So I couldn't complain with that. I just talked to my local video game store about the power base converters, and he didn't have any. He said when he does have them, he sells them for between $50 and $60. So to get that plus the controller, which I guess you don't really need after watching some YouTube videos and stuff, you can just play using your Genesis controllers. But I figured, what the hell, throw that in with it. And I left one of those, and like I said, 2 Master System joysticks, which I have no idea if anyone would want those or not, but I could probably go back and get them for, a few extra bucks if there's anybody out there looking for Master System joysticks. So for $25, I thought, it can't beat that deal. That's what I thought at the time. I don't know anything about Alien Storm. It was like I said, it was the only thing that really caught my eye on the shelf of games. I didn't even notice he had the original Mortal Kombat at first. That was just the cart, so I didn't even see that in the pile of stuff. The other ones he had did have the boxes, but they were all sports titles besides the original Sonic, so I let those go. But I just couldn't believe that I stumbled across a power base converter like that. And he flat out told me, look, I have no idea what these things are, and I said I'd buy that whole box off of you for. He wanted $45 for the whole lot, which is, like I said, the original Genesis power base converter, 2 controllers like this, 2 joysticks, and about 5 3-button controllers. He wanted $45 for the whole lot, and I knew that was a good deal also. But after just buying a system, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I can't, I can't be buying a whole nother Genesis system. The only problem I think I might run into with the power base converter, and I don't have any games to put in it, so I can't really try it, is I have the Genesis 2. I don't have the Genesis 1. Obviously, this is designed for the Genesis 1. I don't think it's going to be a problem. The only thing I did notice is that when you put this down onto the Genesis 2, it somewhat blocks the the inputs for when you want to plug it in. But I think you can kind of get it in there and still get your cords in. So I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit once I get a couple of games for this guy. So I think I can get it to work. I haven't really seen any reviews or anything like that where people are saying that it doesn't work. So I think I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm anxious to get a couple of Master System games. This does go all the way down on here without a problem. But like I said, you're going to cover up your inputs if you do that. So I think if you just have it in there enough that you can connect the converter into the cart slot, it should be okay and still get your plugs in. So I'm going to have to try and play with it a little bit and see what I can do. But for $25, let me know what you think. Did I get a good deal? Did I get hosed? Is this stuff really worthless? So, like I said, I thought I was coming up with something that's fairly rare, and you just don't see the Master System stuff around anymore. And yeah, let me know. Did I get a good deal? Is the power base converter definitely not going to work with the Genesis 2? If someone wants to comment on that. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of conversation about that on YouTube, so let me know what you think. Thanks a lot.